Hey everybody, how are you? How are you? I'm back. I made it. I got stuck in the stores longer than, let me turn this light on. Longer than I had planned on. Whoops, wrong one. Longer than I had planned on. However, the rain wasn't coming down in buckets or wheelbarrows. It was coming down in dump truckloads. So, you have to stay in the store where it's dry. And I shopped a little more than I wanted to, but it's okay. I went to Walmart, then I went to Aldi's, of course, to get my paper towels, and I got blueberries there because their prices are really good. And then I went to Publix because I decided, since it's so crappy, I'm going to cook tonight and tomorrow night's dinners. So for tonight, I'm going to make a shepherd's pie, cottage pie, whatever they call it. We call it shepherd's pie. And for tomorrow, I'm going to make, because it's going to be rainy anyhow, I'm going to make what I call cabbage soup. It's ground beef and veggies and cabbage and kidney beans and some type of a noodle, spaghetti noodle, something like that. You just throw it all in the pot together. So I'm going to cook the ground beef and the onions that I need right now and get that started. Because I wanted to be outside today, but that's not happening. And from what the weatherman says, that's not going to be happening for a couple of days. So we may not be making that trip to St. Pete, but I need to get down there. I need to get to the cemetery, so I'll figure that out, but we'll see. So anyhow, I'm just getting ready to cut up 3, I call them small onions, and get those frying. And then I'll add the beef in, and I'm probably gonna patty some of this up because I got 2 big packages like this. They're 3.74, 3.79 pounds, but I like to buy it because Publix is one of the places that I trust their meat because they have butchers there. They have real butchers, and you can watch them cut the meat and grind the meat. And so anyhow, they had ground beef for $5.99 a pound. They had, I think, ground chuck $6.99, ground round $7.99. So, but they don't put a lot of fat in there. Their ground beef is 20.80, I think, and it's product of the U.S. too, which I like. Not Venezuela or Argentina or wherever the hell it comes from. It's product of the U.S., so I'm good with that. So anyhow, I got some cute pajamas on sale at Walmart. They were clearanced, actually. And so I grabbed a couple pair of those. And, excuse me, I need to get something from, oh, here it is. And another, boulder holder. And I got a kind of like skin toned one this time. And then I went to Aldi's, to get my paper towels. And they had cami tops with a built-in bra, 2 for $12. So I thought, because it's been so hot, putting that extra layer of clothes on is, so if I can do it all in one garment, that's what I'm going to do. So anyhow, and Walmart had my ice cream mix stuff that I use. Clearance, the vanilla. Well, they had vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. But I like to buy the vanilla because I can make the vanilla into chocolate, into strawberry. I made some into cherry. I made some into Reese's peanut butter pieces. You know, so that's more versatile than the chocolate and the strawberry. I got it for $1.50 a package. It's usually $4 and change. I bought every one they had. I think they had like 13 of them, and they make like a half a gallon or so, which is more than enough for Chris and I. So, you know, walking around waiting for the rain to quit. And so we did that. Had to walk around Aldi's for a little while. Publix I was right in and right out because it wasn't raining. And I didn't really want to get rained on. Did I show you guys this cute little red pan I got? Look at this cute little red pan, and it came with this cute little spatula. Is that not sweet? This will work perfect for Chris's eggs or, you know, whatever. I can make him a little omelet. I have these other ones. I like little pans. I have these too. I've had these for a couple years. Little square one to make grilled cheese, and this one just to warm up some soup, you know, for one person. Because a lot of times I'm either cooking just for Chris, which is most of the time, but once in a while I like to have something to eat, and I don't eat a lot at once. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm downsizing a lot of my shit anyhow. You know, because with the grands and, you know, I haven't heard anything different. I think John's still leaving the end of September. My trash ball. So, you know, it's going to take Chris and I forever to empty out these 3 freezers. But it's okay. Because there's a lot of people in this world that, you know, don't have it. And I like to buy on sale. I don't buy garbage stuff, but I like to buy on sale. And when I buy plenty. That way I can put it up and, you know, I don't have to worry about feeding anybody. Somebody comes over, I can offer them, you know, something to eat. So anyhow, let me get those pajamas and I'll show them to you. They're right here. And I'll show you those cami tops that I got too. Pajamas were $6 a set. So these are real cute. These have puppy dogs on them. It's, you know, the top and the the top and the bottom, $6. And then this one has tigers on it, you know. $6 a set. And that's all you need here. Let me lay these over here out of the way. And of course, I'll just run this by you real quick, you know. I like, you know what, I'm going to show these to you. I get these at Walmart. And they're like $6 and change. They're well padded. Of course, they're the racerback. That's what I always wear. But it was $6, I think $6.98 is all I pay for these. And they're really nice. They're really nice. So if you have a Walmart, you know, and you need something like that, you might want to check it out. Might as well open this box up while I got it. These are the cami tops. I looked at the smalls. I don't know. I probably could have wore a small, but I didn't want to chance it. I'd rather be too big than. And I know they stick them together. So these I got at Aldi's. I always go down their aisle of shame. But see, nice. They're real nice. They had white and blue, or they had the charcoal and black. So I got the charcoal and black. You know, it goes with everything. But see, on the inside, it's got the, you know. So yeah, I think those are cute. And then here's, you know, a solid black. But those are perfect to wear, you know, around here in the summer. So, yeah, that's what I did. Like, I need more clothes. You know, I got enough clothes. I can wear something different for a year. But, you know, you find those favorite ones and, you know, I try to change, you know, around a lot. But sometimes, you know, if I'm not in the mood to worry about what I look like, I'm not in the mood, and it doesn't matter. So I'll put that in my trash ball. Let's get this beef opened up. So, shepherd's pie. I don't want a lot of leftovers of either one. And, John won't eat the cabbage soup because it's got cabbage in it. So I'm going to say a little bit more, and then that's plenty. I believe. Let me scooch it around a little bit here and see, because we know it will cook down some. And I don't want to mush it too small, because, you know, I'm going to put a little bit more, because you mush it too small, then in your soup it disappears. And I don't mind that again, but you know, when you're feeding a man, they want to eat. So my dress, I need to tighten my tie. Dress is getting too big, I think. I don't know what it's getting. It's getting old. That's what it's getting. But it doesn't want to stay where I put it. Okay. So now I'll patty some of this up. Let's season this a little bit. My cabbage soup is more like a fancy chili with extra veggies and noodles and cabbage. The cabbage just gives it that extra, I don't know, it just gives it a really good taste. This is just garlic salt, that way I'm getting some garlic and salt in at the same time. But then I also, in my freezer, I have garlic frozen. So, I've got to find it. I think get there. I got some left. I'm going to have to clean. I got a fresh bag of garlic. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm on my head. Okay, I got a fresh bag of garlic out in the garage that I need to get cleaned up. But this is what I do with it. Make it in little balls after it's all cleaned. And I mix a little olive oil with it, you know. So it doesn't stick together in the bag. I think that probably will be enough. I use my like a melon baller thing. Once I get it all shredded, and I use this little devil to make little balls, put it on parchment paper on a cookie sheet or whatever, and throw it in the freezer and let them little balls freeze. And then once they are, I just throw them in the bag and I just grab out what I need, you know. Get that down in there so it thaws. So how about, for now, we start pattying up some burgers. I just guess. I do know my fellas like hearty burgers, you know. So my peach pie is very successful. It's very good, but it's very successful. The candies that I made are more than successful. They're so good. They're so good. And I think toasting those almonds a little bit more, just give them that extra burst. Yeah. And then the caramel nice and it's creamy after you get it in your mouth, but to bite into it, it's good and solid. I don't like to bite into like a mushy a caramel for something like that. I like it to have a little substance. So that all came out good. I bought more stuff to make more of them because hubby's liking them, you know. And I'm sure my kids will like them. I know my grandsons will, but there was only one at home. Now the second one's has to come back. Has to, because he wanted to be a little butthead and think he was grown at 17 and give my daughter a bunch of shit. Well, guess what? It backfired on him. He moved in with this girl. Was pregnant with somebody else's kid. She was like 16, 17 years old, I guess. Pregnant with somebody else's kid. Roped my grandson about 4 months ago into a relationship with her. She's got him calling the baby his. We're not sure. We think he might have signed that birth certificate. So he wanted to move out and play house. And the mother, she was all for it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't know my daughter, who's very successful, very responsible, raised those boys great. She's sticking her nose in. Well, then they call CPS on my daughter because his knee hurts. Well, they'd already taken him to the doctor, and there's a picture of him online in the hospital with the girlfriend the day she had the baby, with the knee brace that the doctor had him put on. But he's trying to say she never took him, never nothing. Well, he's already gone for surgery. However, CPS is coming after my daughter for medical neglect. Medical. But he, little Mr. Smartass, has to move back home now because he's not 18 years old. Now my daughter has to take back this little shit that turns her into CPS for wrong allegations, very wrong. And now she's got to put up with his little ass living in her house and support him. You know what? I love him. He's my grandson. But you know what? He's old enough to know that he did some dirty shit. And when you're old enough to know what you've done, I don't forgive you when you do something like that. I really don't. I know there's a time and a place to get CPS involved. I know that. But you know what? You don't lie. And I'm not saying it just because she's my daughter. I'm saying it because of who she is, the person that she is, the successful woman that she is. If that happens, it's a federal charge. She could lose her job. She's worked all her life at the same job, and she's going to be 50. She started there when she was 16. Same job, worked up the ladder. Now she's a big shit with the banking industry, involved in the realtors, and yeah. So this little shit could be jeopardizing what my daughter has worked hard all her life for because he didn't want to follow the rules. Let me tell you what, my daughter gave these kids all brand new cell phones when she got them. They're not her children. They were her brother-in-law's children, her twin brother's children. However, he got killed. He got shot. Let's just leave it. So they ended up with all of the boys. There was 5 boys. My daughter, who never wanted children, married a man who couldn't make children, and she ended up with 5 boys to raise. She did a wonderful job. They all had the best of clothes, the nicest of clothes, well taken care of. The food, oh my gosh, the food they ate. All of these boys. Davion just got back from being overseas from college. Trayvon's, he's the oldest one. He's been working forever. He's been out on his own. Anthony is still home. Now, Anthony is my blood grandson. He belongs to my youngest daughter. But, because Frankie, who got killed, was his dad. So, it's a long, screwed up story. Anyhow. And then Francis and Ethan. Ethan's the one that's giving my sister a bunch of shit. Those are all her nephews, and she raised those boys for years like they were her own. And this little shit, because he wants to be out with this little piece of you-know-what girl and play daddy to a baby that's not his, doesn't understand what he's getting himself into at 17 years old, especially if he signed that birth certificate. And, all my daughter ever wanted was to grow up, be a responsible, productive person in life. And that's what she's done. I'm so proud of her. She's in South Florida this week for work. They pay her hotel, they give her a rental car, they pay her flights, they pay everything. She doesn't have to pay for anything. She got this promotion, well, she's always been high up, but she got this promotion as a new promotion for her. She got this promotion over people that absolutely were much more educated, I think, or experienced for this job. However, my daughter's standing and her good name and the work that she does, and she goes over to the prisons and she tries to teach them, and this little asshole grandson of mine, and Ethan, if you're watching this, you're a little asshole. How could you do that? Sam has treated you so good. You used to come to my house for the 2 weeks at Christmas, the 1 week at Thanksgiving, and the whole frickin' summer. And I treated you good. I always stood up for you because you got blamed for being a little shit by the other boys. I'm so disappointed. So disappointed in you, child. Anyhow, I'm going to get off that subject because I'm so passionate about my family. And to have this child, and that's exactly what he's acting like, Mr. Grown, to have this child do this to my daughter. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm going to get off that subject because every time I think about it, I get pissed off. You don't call CPS on people for bullshit like that. You call it when it's needed. And it's needed out there. They're wasting their time on this bullshit when they should be out there saving children that really need them. How many children are going to die from neglect while they're wasting their time dicking around with this bullshit? Anyhow, I'm going to stop. I'm getting real passionate about it. Let me grab a bag to put those in, guys. So, anyhow, this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to cook. And I'm going to try to work on that wreath. I keep looking at it and then I put it down and I look at it. And I got it started. And I'm usually pretty good, at getting things. But this, I don't know what it is, I just don't. I don't know what's holding me up. I need a tray. I can't get it. And it could be because it's between seasons too, and it's, the VA, and it's for Labor Day, and, so I'm trying to stay with some red, white, and blue. I was looking at other colors of silk flowers while I was out today, and I almost bought them and changed my mind. I was like, no, you started doing it this way, let's just finish it this way, But, I'm just having, get out of there, I'm just having a really, really hard time with it, and I don't know what to do. I know I got bag ties out because I got them out earlier. Well, there goes the air back in the bag. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me put these clothes in here on the table so I don't get stuff all over them. I guess I must have put the bag ties back. I did. It's alright. I thought I had the cabbage in the fridge in the bottom drawer. And I forgot that I had blanched it and put it in the freezer. I'm tearing my fridge apart, and I went out and I told Chris, I said, I've lost a whole head of cabbage. I said, I don't know what I've done with it. So I walked over to the freezer in the garage for something, and it hit me. I was like, you dumbass. You blanched that and froze it so you wouldn't lose it. So here, hamburger patties ready to go. My hubby loves his hamburger patties. I think I'll just do the rest of this in patties, because I do have some ground beef in the freezer. Ground beef that I ground up myself. But when I was at the store, I hadn't decided yet what I was going to make for dinner. And I almost changed my mind. I was like, oh, I gotta thaw out the beef and wait, and I want to get this all done this, early in the day. Of course, it's going on 1 o'clock now. So I thought, well, I'll just go to Publix and tell the butcher what I need. And what am I? Oh, there. So that's why I have fresh. Instead of frozen out of the freezer. So now I got to figure out, what to do with all of this. So I'll just patty it all up. The fellas will be happy. Well, at least John will be happy too, because he likes a hamburger patty with his eggs like I do once in a while. Or, so a little bit of hamburger to put in his mac and cheese that he's making. So he can always grab one of these out and use these. I'm going to get about 12 real nice little, about 1/3 of a pound they are. Pretty good amount. Shoot, I know what I forgot. I wanted to get some gnat strips because it's that time of the year. And if I leave the back door cracked and them flying little varmints just help themselves and come right on in. But it's Friday, so maybe I can talk hubby into going to Harbor Freight or something later on when he gets done working. And we'll get some gnat strips or something. And then maybe we won't go out, if it keeps raining like it is. Okay. This is going to be a little bit bigger, but it's not enough for two. So, all right, guys, listen. I'm going to get off of here and get concentrated on this. And when I get the soup together, I'll show it to you. You all know what shepherd's pie. Ground beef, peas. I might put carrots in it. I don't know. Mashed potatoes on top, cheese, all that kind of stuff. Y'all know what that is. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off of here and get this finished up because my hands are a little greasy. I gotta wash them. I'll be back. Thanks for stopping. And I love y'all, guys. Push my buttons, please. Thanks.